There's a scene in the recent Barbie film where all of the Barbies are dancing and just living it up until the moment when the main Barbie, Margot Robbie's character, brings everything to a halt by saying, "Do you guys ever think about dying?" Now this clip and countless memes from it are circulating the internet, and especially in a lot of Christian circles, as we turn our attention towards the season of Lent, and especially the beginning, Ash Wednesday. Now, growing up, I struggled to really understand Ash Wednesday, and actually Lent entirely. I just remember that some of my friends would talk to me about giving up soda and candy bars for Lent, and that McDonald's would offer discounted Filet-O-Fish sandwiches on Fridays. I didn't grasp the concept of what the Lenten season represented, and definitely didn't understand the ways that Ash Wednesday carried such a significant focus on death. The majority of us, I hope, live our lives without thinking about death very often, if at all. Though those of us who live with cancer or other life-threatening diseases, well, we're faced with our own mortality every day. And in a way, Ash Wednesday is the time when we are all invited to consider our own mortality, to remember that it is from dust that we came and to dust that we shall return. Thought to represent the 40 days that Jesus spent wandering in the wilderness, the Lenten season takes us on a journey with Jesus to Jerusalem, to the cross, his death, and ultimately to his resurrection. It's a season of repentant invitation, calling us to consider moments in our lives where we've stepped off the path that God has envisioned for us, and to seek ways to return. By beginning with Ash Wednesday, with an imposition of ashes on our foreheads, we join with our ancestors in the faith in their rituals of mourning, of putting on sackcloth and ashes, symbols of our own mortality and penance, the acknowledging of sin and the seeking of forgiveness. Ashes, the product of burning last year's palm fronds, previously waved through the air in celebration of Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem, now reduced to cold, lifeless ash. In previous years, as a way of acknowledging Ash Wednesday, I have made the sign of the cross on countless foreheads and the backs of hands, while offering these words in prayer. Gracious God, who formed us from the dust of the earth and breathed into us the breath of life, it is by your gift alone that we know life and life eternal. Grant that these ashes, the dust of once joyful palms, may remind us of our mortality and call us again to you. The dust of once joyful palms. As we prepare to move through this Lenten season, it is my prayer for you that you are able to take a moment at its beginning to acknowledge that in God's grand story, we are but fleeting characters. Here today and gone tomorrow, a humbling realization, one that forces us to confront our own fragility. And despite this sobering reflection, hope is on the horizon. Because just as the ashes symbolize our mortality, they also point to the promise of transformation and new life. So, do you all ever think about dying? Yes. Yes, we do. And this Ash Wednesday, Let's embrace the opportunity to see this as an invitation to turn back to God, to reorient our lives upon the path of love and justice and compassion. Let's remember that the ultimate destination of this journey is not despair or death. It's new life and resurrection. Let's remember that God breathed into lifeless dust and brought forth humanity. And God will do it again.